Hello and welcome back to Frequency Intuitive. Today we are doing a mystery reading. There's no specific topic. It's going to be whatever you most need to hear at this point from your spirit team. So we have 4 beautiful piles. We're going to pull the crystals live again because I got the sense that a lot of you enjoyed that. So if you didn't like that, you can just skip ahead. I'll put a timestamp where you can just look at the crystals and the cards without having to do the selection. So you could skip there now if you don't want to see the crystals be pulled. Pile 1, card 36 says lock. Something is hidden or locked. And I find this really fascinating because that could be something that's kind of like unknown or mysterious, or that could be something that's very valuable, that's being kept protected. That's why I love this. Okay, so for pile 1, let's choose your crystals together. I restocked the plate with things that I thought might relate to the reading. Okay, so pile 1, lock. Something is hidden or locked. Ooh, okay, I see this right away. This Celtic knot, kind of like a lock or a rope, a knot. It's a knot, which you could use to lock things. So we're going to pull that for pile 1. So for pile 1, your final card and crystal are these. If you resonate with this group, I got these new cards for myself for Valentine's Day, so I'm so excited to see them in play because I've always loved this deck. Oh, card 11. I didn't even notice this. So for pile 2, you have card 11, Serendipity, Fated Encounter with the Dragonfly. And let's choose your crystal. Dragonfly. Does anyone see anything popping out? I like to know if I picked the ones that you guys were drawn to. I'm kind of drawn to this flower, so I feel like dragonflies float and flip through flowers, and I know that some of you wanted this in the last reading, so if that was you, I did sense that. And there are these beautiful flowers on the card as well. So for pile 2, this moonstone daisy that kind of looks like this flower here, and serendipity. Thank you for joining me here. I love hanging out with you guys. Pile 3, card 15 with mindset. Find a different perspective, and the mushroom. Now I already know which crystal's calling out to me for that, because I actually have a mushroom and I wanted it to use it in the last reading. What is this little thing? So let's go ahead and pick the mushroom. So this is pile 3's final selection. That is just the cutest little set I've ever seen in my gosh darn life. Pile 4. Oh, this adventure card. So I woke up and I had this feeling of like doing a reading about adventure, and I hadn't opened this deck and cleansed it yet, so I didn't even know this card was in here. And so when I saw it, I knew immediately that I was going to pick it. Card 21 with adventure, be open to new experiences. And what crystal could come out with that? Quite a few are calling to me. This black moon one, the Hello Kitty, because it's so unusual. The little tree. I think it's this first one. Oh, see now? I thought it was that one, but it's this. I didn't even see this because the black onyx got me this spearhead. I love that, but I'll show you this one in case you may have also wanted this one, which is beautiful too. So you can select that one in your mind if that one called out to you. Okay, so for those of you who jumped ahead with the timestamp, these are the piles here in the crystals. Pile 1, lock with the Celtic knot. Pile 2, serendipity with the moonstone daisy, card 11. Pile 3 with the mushroom mindset, card 15. A different perspective. And pile 4, card 21 with adventure and the onyx spearhead. All right, so when you're ready to find out your mystery message, what it is that your spirit team wants you to know right now, then click on your timestamp and I will see you in your group. Group 1, welcome to your reading with card 36, lock, and the Celtic crystal. Something is hidden or locked. So let's begin by reading from the guidebook on that. And I have never read these yet, so I am as curious as you. What a cute little stinking buck. Emotional unavailability, hidden secrets, private matters, unknown circumstances. There's something that is hidden from you and you don't have access to it at the moment. This could symbolize an emotionally unavailable person or someone unable to understand others' needs. It could be referring to you or someone else you know. This card may also indicate that there's a secret you're not aware of, which is making it difficult to make clear decisions without more information. If you're not familiar with the situation, it's best to avoid jumping to conclusions or making judgments. Instead, that's so interesting. I said, or making adjustments. So that also. Instead, try to approach it with compassion while maintaining your standards and boundaries. That's a very tricky thing to do, my friend. So that may not be the full meaning of this situation. Take whichever parts resonate. We're going to get more details here. Okay, so for pile 1, group 1, who resonated with this card and crystal, please show us what is the strongest information that you would like them to know right now that would benefit them to be aware of. So I was just debating if I should say it or not. Like I always would. It comes back around if I don't. I just wasn't sure if it was the right place in the reading, but I heard the Outcast song Hey Ya. I don't really know that group, but I've heard it on the radio, and I just so clearly heard the verse that goes, "My baby don't mess around, and that I know for sure." And then it goes, "Hey ya." So I don't know if that's just, I feel like someone needed to hear that. You might want to look up the lyrics of that song, or maybe just that line or song is meaningful for like one person here. It's a general reading, so we try to get everybody's messages and just hold space if it's not your message or it doesn't resonate. There's going to be a lot of information if you're here returning here. You know, there's usually a lot of information because your girl likes to talk. And I can just sometimes find a million ways to say one thing, you know, because sometimes we can't hear something in one way. That's why Spirit will prompt me to kind of explain it in different ways. I'm not sure why they're telling me to speak on that. Shadow work with night moon. Okay, I love that this came out because I had like the black candle here and I was kind of getting some like moon vibes. I almost picked the moon over there, crystal. Okay, so shadow work, night moon. What else for group 1? So definitely could be something unknown or unseen, as it says something is hidden. It literally says that. Or locked. But you also got celebration and forgiveness. Wow, okay. Celebration and forgiveness. I'm going to put this here. Okay, what else for group 1, please? Ooh, Door to personal happiness and healing. One of my favorite cards, card 34. Door to personal happiness and healing, very similar to the celebration card. And adjacent possibilities, card 24. Very interesting energy coming up here. I'm getting a little bit of a message of something may seem like it's not working out, but there just needs to be some things worked through on either one or both ends, and then it will be more an energy of forgiveness, healing, happiness, and celebration. But I'm unsure with the adjacent possibilities card if this means with another person, another situation, or within this situation. So we will see if we can get those details. It may not come through because it could be different for everybody. For group 1, please, what do they need to know? I'm just going to take these two that went sideways real quick. Yeah, so this could have gone sideways, whatever the situation is that's kind of on your mind. Something might have gone sideways real quick. This could be career, job, family, an argument. This could be anything, a relationship. Did I say that? I'm just getting that feeling. You got ancestral healing and chamber of protection. Okay. I'm not surprised, I'm giggling because I do feel like there's a little bit of you being protected from something here. Like I said, something could be hidden or locked because in the sense of divine rejection is divine protection. Maybe a door has closed or is not opening because you're being protected from something. And ancestral healing. I want to read that because I have not read that card yet. Oh, sorry about that. The guidebook slid onto the floor. Okay. Ancestral healing reads, during these times, so much is coming up for healing. Yeah, and you have door to personal happiness and healing, and also shadow work, which is typically about doing deep healing, about things coming to the surface. We're discovering how hurt can be passed down from cell to cell through generations. Our ancestors are the reason we're here, and without them, our soul wouldn't be in human form. From them, we may inherit gifts as well as patterns of conditioning and trauma that we long to be free from. Many of these patterns are coming to the surface now in order to be processed and healed. Very present here with forgiveness. Sometimes those who came before you weren't able to understand, let alone process, what has thus far gone unhealed. Sometimes it takes a courageous soul with an open heart, aka you, when the conditions are just right, aka maybe now, to feel in order to heal, to process in order to free themselves. This card is an acknowledgement, a nod towards the work you're doing as a circuit breaker in your family system and in the collective. I like that, a nod towards the work you're doing. You're being acknowledged for the part you're playing in the healing of humanity through healing yourself and being with what is. You're being acknowledged for the part, my heart chakra, it's crying. Sometimes I get this sensation of like that release right before you're about to cry, like a release of being seen and acknowledged. You're being acknowledged for the part you play in healing your ancestral line and the collective too. Maybe you're in the midst of deep ancestral healing, or perhaps you're finding your way back to the surface, having journeyed through the depths, shadow work of the line you came into. Try your best to honor the gifts of that line as well as the difficulties. In doing so, you not only set your ancestors free, but you galvanize that energy and transform it into strength and support. And the activation is, I honor my ancestors for the life they gave me, and I set myself and them free. Wow, this is a very powerful group. I got a little emotional, as you know I do. You're definitely being protected through this time, but you're going through, like, you could be going through a dark night of the soul. You could be going through very karmic triggering situations. You could be just feeling like you are not yourself. Like these deep wounds are coming up, very emotional. You could be feeling very tender, easily triggered, where maybe you were able to numb things out before and all of a sudden everything feels very close to the surface. You're definitely going through this door to a happier time. Like healing is circular, right? You're going to revisit things many times as you alchemize it each time and you kind of like shift it to a new vibrational place, then it will come back around. And we're always healing through our life. I don't think we ever reach a place where we're just like, I'm healed, you know. It's a process of life, is my opinion. But it does improve. I think it does. I don't want to say get easier, but in a way, I think it does. The wound becomes more comfortable to look at and deal with, if that makes sense, and to face. Now they showed me this door to personal happiness and healings with this adjacent possibilities. Sorry, the name Jason just wanted to come up. That could be for one of you if this is related to you or someone that you're asking about, or you could have a guide or an ancestor passed on with that name. Adjacent possibilities, or Jace, I'm hearing. These are a bunch of doors, and you have this door. So this is, and then the lock is also usually used in tandem with a door. So you have the lock, something is currently hidden or locked, and then you have the sense that some things are in the shadow. You have this shadow work card here, this ancestral healing, but then you have this other message coming through. And you also have the protection, which kind of gives something behind a closed door, something kind of being held or kept, sacred or safe. But then you have this other side with these doors opening and celebration on the bottom here. Door to personal happiness and healing. Celebration, so something to celebrate. Something's going to be coming forth that makes you happy, makes you excited. So I wonder if you're in this kind of dark place now. Could have been something happened, like I said, with that phrase, my baby don't mess around. There could have been maybe questions of infidelity, or just a person like when we began reading what was that phrase? There was a phrase that stood out to me. Let me read it again. Emotionally unavailable person, who feels maybe locked up behind their own emotions, feel locked up behind a facade, or someone unable to understand others' needs. That's a very important phrase because you may feel like you're expressing yourself to a partner or to a boss or to a situation, and it's just like not getting through, and you feel like you're hitting your head against a brick wall, basically. Nothing's changing. So wherever you are in this spectrum of general situations, it's being acknowledged here that something here is going to unlock. I'd like to find out what that is. Like, what is the gateway that leads to this shift with the door suddenly opening and having something to celebrate? I see here with the full moon forgiveness card that this could be something that you kind of reach a place or a state where you see it in a different light, or your heart basically becomes unlocked for some reason. But I wonder what it is that would initiate that feeling. What else can you tell us for group 1? Specifically, what shifts them from this kind of heartbreak or frustration or things feeling inaccessible or not open or not moving forward to the doors opening, the healing, the happiness, and the celebration? What shift is taking place? Definitely the ancestral healing and the shadow work, but I wonder if there's something kind of specific or a timeline. Ooh. The card 9, fulfillment of wishes. That's beautiful. That's the 9 of Cups. Treasure chest opening here. Well, you have celebration. So I don't know yet what is the key that unlocks this, but I would love to get that information. I'm going to keep trying for you. It could be different for everybody, but I feel like generally we could get that. They keep pointing to me, it's the shadow work, it's the ancestral healing, it's this healing that you're doing. But guys, healing, it's so vague. Like, what do they mean? Like, specifically what? Like, I guess it's so different for everyone. It could be therapy, it could be a combination of, self-reflection, journaling, meditation, slowing things down, being in nature. I get that, but I feel like I just would like more on that. But there's this fulfillment of wishes coming through here. Something that you want does occur. That's what you're being encouraged. That's kind of why you were guided to this reading, to say, right now the situation feels locked. Right now something feels either kept from you or unknown. Part of this is you're being protected here with the Chamber of Protection. Maybe it's not right timing for the info to come out. Maybe it's not right timing for this person to open up. Maybe it's not right timing for you to open up if you're the person that feels emotionally locked down. Maybe it's not right time for the information to come forth if you're kind of waiting on an answer about a job or a position or something. Maybe like, did you get your visa? Did you get your, work permit approved? It could feel like that information is not accessible right now, but there could be a reason. I get heavy relationship energy here. So what shifts it forward? What unlocks? Like, I am so stubborn, y'all. I will stay here until we get something about what unlocks this lock. What is the key? Tell us what is the key to move this into the wish fulfilled celebration door opening energy. Okay, definitely it's adjacent possibilities. They highlighted that again. So there's something about this that the solution of what you want, the celebration door opening fulfillment of wishes energy, could be accessed through a different method, a different way. This could be as simple as if it's a relationship challenge, maybe there's another one just around the corner through another door, maybe literally right around the corner. Maybe you even know what I'm referring to. Maybe it's someone that you kind of, were talking to before or had your eye on, or someone from your past, or someone that, I'm not suggesting at all that if you're in a committed relationship that you entertain other possibilities. Everyone has to do what's right with them. But I'm saying if a relationship has ended and you're going through the grief of that or the heartbreak of that, and you're feeling like, maybe should I, like, why didn't that work out? And you're kind of feeling like, why is that a no for me? Why is that door closed? Quite possible that door closed. Maybe someone ghosted you. You haven't heard from them. You have no closure. Or they ended it suddenly and you don't understand why, because everything seemed completely fine, or they just pulled away and you ended up having to end it because, like the card said, you couldn't, they wouldn't understand your needs. In that case, maybe this adjacent possibilities is there's a better, more aligned relationship waiting for you just around the corner through another door. Same for career or something like this. If there's something on your mind where it seems like it's a no, or it seems like the door was locked or you can't access it for some reason, there's possibly another way. Something is more aligned, because it's definitely going to happen. You got fulfillment of wishes and celebration and door to personal happiness. So it's like it's happening. You're getting what you want, you're getting what you want, you're getting what you want, you're getting what you want 3 times. So I want to say there's no possibility that you don't get what you want in this situation. It's just perhaps you need to adjust your perspective about what it is that you want. Maybe it's that you want a happy, healthy, aligned relationship and not a specific person, right? Like sometimes we get fixated on someone. Let me tell you, your girl knows. Sometimes we get fixated. I've been fixated. And if you've heard me tell this story before, in my 30s, I was fixated on an individual who I thought was my twin flame and the love of my life. And it was absolute chaos. And Spirit closed the door so fast. They ghosted me for 6 weeks. They were like, not for you. And I was completely determined and stubborn. I meditated on it. I raised my frequency so high, but like I was still like, I wanted the question answered. I didn't understand why, because I couldn't understand. I couldn't see why. Something was hidden from me. I thought this person was amazing. We got along. There was a connection I never felt before on all levels. Like, it didn't make sense to me that it would be kept from me. It didn't make sense to me that they ghosted me. So when they came back around, I stubbornly, wanted to pursue it. It was like Spirit was like, okay, you're not going to let this go. So go ahead. You have free will. We showed you exactly what it was going to be like. You saw, who this person was with the ghosting and the lack of respect and the lack of communication. But they came back around and you want to pursue it. And I did. And it was an absolute nightmare. When I tell you, with love, the person had substance abuse problems. I was not aware of that. That's what I was being protected from. It led me down a path of like emotional, financial, just absolute like pain and heartbreak. And it was very hard to extricate myself and rebuild myself from that situation. Of course, no harm done in the sense that I learned so much and it really pushed me spiritually. So that's why sometimes we can think we want something and we'll go through it, but it's not for the reason that we thought. We go through it because I thought I was going through it because this was the love of my life, but I was going through it because my soul was like, great, school bag on, let's go to earth school, because we can learn so much through relationships. But let me tell you, when looking back, I see how the door was closed and I literally wrenched it open with like a crowbar and was like, nah, I'm coming in. I'm going to get what I want. And, and I got more than I expected. So I don't know why that story is coming up. With the adjacent possibilities, perhaps there's an easier way for you to have the relationship that you want, or perhaps there's things going on that you don't realize. This person may not be good for you. They may be withholding things if it is a relationship thing. Just take that if it resonates. It's quite possible that that's not the case at all. It's a general reading. I'm just bringing up the messages that are coming through. It's quite possible that this is a situation where you just don't know what's going on with if you don't feel that message is for you and you're like, no, I definitely would want to pursue this. I just don't know what happened to this person or where they went. Could be something going on, right? Could have been a death in the family. Could be they're going through something in their work. Maybe they're going through a physical medical issue. Maybe they're going through a spiritual awakening. Not everybody can express what they're going through. Maybe it was a lot for them emotionally, and it's quite possible that this comes back around and that there's another reason why this person has pulled away or seems to be behind a lock and key right now. There can be so many things. I know I've gone through things where I'm just like grateful that my friends are still there when I can kind of come out of the fog and I'm like, sorry, I was going through something. I just couldn't find the words to explain it. So we all go through things. So there's no judgment. And I'm not telling you that that's what's going to happen to you. You just take the information as it resonates. There's so many situations that I sense going on here. Let's get more information. But remember, you definitely get what you want in the end. So if it's a specific person that you want, then it would be that. And if it's just a relationship that you want, or the career that you want, or the answer that you want, or maybe a house that you want, this could relate to a house because it's literally a lock and key. This could literally be you put in an offer in on something, or you're trying to sell your house, or you're trying to move. You end up having a reason for celebration, and you end up having completely your heart's desire on this. But the shift is that there's an adjacent possibility. It's going to possibly work out or come to you in a way that you didn't initially suspect. That's the main message here, as well as that you're going through some deep healing, which is why I'm kind of feeling that it's a relationship vibe, because typically ancestral healing and shadow work, this stuff comes up in relation to people, family, friends, romantic partners. Okay, so this was what is the key question. Mother. Oh, I don't think I've got this before, but I say that sometimes and I have. Mother of the salt water, passion, wild love. Open your heart and let love in. Okay, I'm going to read that because I'm super curious. I don't think I've got that one before. Okay, mother of salt water. I know salt water is very healing. So for pile 1, if this is the key, this is the question we were asking, then this is the key to shifting and unlocking that whatever's being hidden or protected. Oh, look at this. The ocean's unknowable, untameable, vast beauty has beguiled humans since time began. Numerous deities are associated with her salt waters, from the Greek goddess Amphitrite, wife of the sea god Poseidon, to Yemaya, West African's queen of the sea, and Doris, the Greek goddess of fertility, the abundance of the ocean to Aphrodite, the great goddess of love and beauty who was born out of the sea foam. The ocean is a symbol of the feminine mysteries, love, beauty, and great passion. This card delivers with it a message of love as deep as the ocean and passion as intense as the deepest blue sea. It's an invitation to welcome the feminine qualities within you and to really let yourself dream. That's feminine energy, not feminine gender, just to be clear. Yin and yang, so that's yang energy. Or I'm sorry, that's yin energy. It's an invitation to see the beauty all around you and let love in. It could indicate that great love is on the horizon or that a new passion is drawing near. Definitely something to draw near. The mother of the salt waters could be your sign, okay, that new love or new relationships are about to enter your life. I don't want to say I told y'all, but I kind of said it. We all felt it. We all felt it. I'm just being a goofball. Don't take me seriously with that. Or if they're already here, perhaps you're being called to open your heart and be even more embracing and loving if you're facing conflict. How can you soften your heart while remaining true to yourself, which is exactly what your first card said. I'm going to read it again because it's not often, I'm going to read that phrase. It's not often that the exact same message comes through in two different things. This literally says, how can you soften your heart while remaining true to yourself? And this one says, try to approach it with compassion while maintaining your standards and boundaries. Because I sense someone's been pushing your boundaries or something. Your needs have not been met. You're not being heard. You're feeling disregarded or dismissed in some regard. Because both cards said, keep an open heart, but don't change what it is. You know what I mean? Like, don't change yourself or your boundaries or your needs just because you have an open heart, if that makes sense. How can you embrace the people in your life? How can you trust more and welcome in the holding and support? And the inquiry is, how can you let more love into your life? So you may be the one who feels behind emotional lock and key. Now that we read that, I'm kind of seeing another perspective. It kind of flipped and they're showing me another perspective. The other perspective is you feel, because of this ancestral healing, this shadow work, this chamber of protection, you may be keeping yourself in a chamber of protection for a good reason. You may have been really hurt or through intense traumas, like familial situations, relationship situations, things that you may be pushed down and locked up, the memory of, like, now we're really getting to the heart of the matter, my friends. I'm so sorry because I can feel the type of things it is, and these are very intense, heavy energies and situations that are like should never happen, like these type of situations that you should have never been put through and that are not okay. And so after those situations occurred, you were left with two things. One, the weight of the burden of navigating life with that type of experience in your energy, on your mind, in your memory. And two, you were left with a lack of trust for humans in general. Maybe for some of you, for part of yourself. Like I went through lack of trust for myself in that situation because I was like, why did I pursue something that, like, now I don't trust myself. So you may have put this bubble of protection around your heart. You may have cemented it up, I'm seeing, because I'm picturing like a bubble, but it's more like a cement wall that you put bricks, cemented it, and you're like, no one will ever harm me again. Like, never will anyone access my heart. My heart is now for me. It's behind lock and key. It's being kept safe, and I, like, be damned if I allow anyone to hurt me again, because what might have happened the first time is you had no choice in the matter, especially if you were like a child or something like this. You may have had no way out, right? So you were like, I'll be damned if now that I'm in control and now that now that I have the resources that I need and I'm out of that situation, I'll be damned if I let someone actively come in and just have access to my heart. There's just no way. So I see some of you being in that energy where you're you're starting to move through these energies. I'm going to read that forgiveness card for you because it's such a nuanced topic, forgiveness. I'm actually going to read shadow work too. I think we need all the help that we can get in this pile because you're navigating unseen energies. Like it's not like, oh, I have a toothache and I can go to the dentist and they can help me resolve that. These are pains and aches that also will show up in your physical body that are so leveled and multifaceted. It's very difficult to point down and nail down what's going on, how to even begin. You may feel completely overwhelmed at how to embark on healing work like that. Pointing to this open your heart, wild love, let love in, you may not be ready for such a big card, for such a big message. You may be like, hell no. Like I keep hearing a phrase, I don't want to say it, over my blank body. That's what I keep hearing. We can't say certain words on YouTube, so I don't want to say DED. I can't. That's not how you spell it, but that phrase, you're like, no, over my cold body, you won't be getting access to my heart. I'm not gonna be passionate, love wildly, or open my heart. So I'm not going to let love in. That may be the energy that you're in, or some of you may be somewhere on that spectrum where you're like, I kind of would like to, but I don't know how. Because as soon as someone gets close, I shut up. Like those Venus flytraps, as soon as there's an enemy, they just they shut down. So because of that, I want to get you as much information as we can about shadow work, the forgiveness, the ancestral healing, because these are, like I said, dark hallways to navigate, and the answers are not always clear. So I'm going to do my best to help give you as much information as I can. So the forgiveness card reads, I don't want to say what it reads because I think it's going to be triggering. I'll tell you what it says, but I'm telling you, you're probably going to get triggered depending on the situation. It says you need to be more forgiving of someone. Now, depending on what the situation is, I don't necessarily agree with that because there's certain situations that I can see here where I want to be like, I don't know that I don't know that I could forgive certain things personally. Like I know. Anyways, I'm gonna say, like, I know we have to, like, for our own self. I get it. Like you're the one drinking the poison. You know what I mean? Like that whole phrase. There's a phrase like when you don't forgive someone, it's not, you think they're drinking the poison, but it's actually you who's drinking the poison. Because it's the energy of having that resentment within you can be very detrimental on your physical body. But like, hello. That is not that easy to forgive. So let me just say that. Or maybe it's you that needs forgiveness. Either way, depending on where you are on this, what you need to know when you draw this card is that whatever you want can come to you. Okay, so we see that here. Wishes fulfilled, door to happiness and healing, celebration. But you have to move through forgiveness first. Okay. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm sure you know this. However, this card doesn't say it, but there is a card that a guidebook where it says it. I think it's the forgiveness card in this Inner Temple deck, and it has this beautiful phrase that says forgiveness moves in its own intelligent timing of the soul. So I just want to put that in there because I believe that. It's not, you cannot snap your fingers and forgive somebody unless, they just bumped your ankle with the shopping cart. That's easy to forgive. Some things are not that simple. So in your own intelligent soul's timing, moving to these desires of your heart, the doorway is forgiveness. It says resentment causes energetic blockages. I think I just said that too. Maybe you need to forgive a partner or a parent. Once you do, you will magically release something that is currently blocking your way forward. And your card literally says something is hidden or locked, which if you add a B, it could say blocked. This could say block. I'm getting emotional because I feel like your spirit team is so present and they're like holding you. It's like they're all around you and one on each side of you is holding your hands like, gotta get through this without crying. Okay, I got this. Sometimes the images are so emotional. It's like your spirit team is around you in a circle of protection and support and comfort. One is on either side holding your hand, and they're communicating to you, you're not alone in this. They're literally surrounding you because the things that you are processing and the ancestral chains that you are breaking and recreating these new pathways, that's not light work. That's not light work. So you are so supported. You're not alone. Now, practically how that looks, they're encouraging you to use them, your spirit team, for processing. There can be many ways that you heal from this process, whatever the situation is. But one of them, so listen to your intuition, but one of them they're showing me is speaking to them. So this could be automatic writing things down. You could voice note it, whatever you feel comfortable with, but they're showing me saying exactly whatever you're feeling. Like they're showing me someone writing like, I don't know how to let this go. I don't know how to forgive. I don't know how to, I'm afraid that if I open up this can of worms, I won't be able to put it back in. I'm afraid that the emotions will overwhelm me. I'm afraid that the pain will consume me and the rage. And processing it, and they're showing me how it's so important. Like they're showing me this cloud of smoke or something coming out. You know what they're showing me? Okay, like a barbecue, if you put like the lid on it, and if the things are burning in there, and then you take the lid off, and all of the smoke and the steam comes out. That's what they're showing me. All of the steam just pouring out of you, in the most therapeutic way, just by speaking to them as your safe space, and just don't hold anything back. And you're just writing and you're just writing and you're just writing and you're just saying like, I want to feel released from this. I don't know how to process it. And they're showing me that they will answer you. After all that rage and resentment and questions and concern comes out, this could take days or weeks, or it could happen all at once. You will start to feel relief just from giving those thoughts a voice and a way out of your inner space. And then the peace will start to come in and the answers will start to come in about how to process this. That could be the process itself. For example, or they will give you, I'm seeing that BetterHelp, like this is not sponsored, but in some places there's an app where you can get in touch with a therapist. They're showing me some of you have had that prompt or that intuitive nudge, and they're saying that could be a very healing path for you, where you're going to find someone so aligned with you, you're going to feel so understood and heard, and they have the tools that you're looking for. That's for some of you. So follow what you feel. For some of you, they're showing me you go somewhere, you travel, and you come across maybe a shaman or a medicine man or a healer or something, and you're in the salt water and you're in the sun, and it somehow, Mother Nature somehow alchemizes you. Your feet's on the sand, and just the experience itself changes you, and you find an opening in your heart that the forgiveness can start to like a light shining through a keyhole kind of permeate in. I'm going to finish reading this, but that image was so profound, I had to tell you that. Once you do so, you'll magically release something that is currently blocking your way forward. The full moon is perfect for emotional releases, as all your emotions rise to the surface, all the better for you to face them. Forgiving someone doesn't mean what happened is okay. Hell no. But it does mean you're ready to move on. Explore these ideas in relation to whatever you're asking about, or take them as general guidance. The situation you're asking about will be healed for all once you've let go of the rancor. I don't know that word, rancor, and bitterness. But I mean, I see why you're bitter. There are no guarantees as to the outcome, but forgiveness will be a step in the right direction, and either way, you will feel better. That's what's key here. I'm not really concerned about the other person, respectfully. Respectfully, I'm concerned about you. You will feel better. You will move forward. You will feel lighter. You will be able to open your heart to a wild, passionate love. You will be celebrating. I'm seeing someone just celebrating on a beach somewhere, just feeling so free like you haven't felt probably since you were a very small child. I'm just seeing these waters, this waterfall, just emotional pouring forward, this bursting forward of you know, like food tastes different, the world looks different, you just feel so free because you're in an energy that you've never felt before. This is what I see this beautiful image here, just the arms open looking up to the light, feeling so free and light. And then what did I want to read you? Oh, the shadow work. Shadow work just still mystifies me. Sometimes I'll be doing actual shadow work, like not on purpose, and then I'm like, oh, right, that was shadow work. But it's like, for some reason, when I'm in it, I don't realize I'm doing it. It's hard to explain. Maybe you know what I mean. Okay, this shadow work says you're being asked to face your dark side, for sure. In terms of your current situation, be honest. Which part are you ashamed of? Which part is triggering you? These are some of the questions the universe and the moon would like you to ask yourself now. We all have a shadow side, and when this card comes up, yours needs looking at. Your shadow is the part of you that a part of you that you fear, or you're ashamed of, or you find hard to love. Until you learn to embrace your shadow, it can get in your way, and whatever blockage, there's that word again, blockage, you're facing right now almost certainly comes from the fact that there is something you don't want to admit to yourself or someone else. Maybe you need to confess you're not as happy as you've been making out, or maybe someone else needs to let you know that. Maybe you've had dark thoughts that have impeded your progress. It's all good. Learning to love all parts of you is key here. The outcome you're chasing now lies on the other side of your fears. In psychology, the shadow self is a concept introduced initially by renowned Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung. It describes aspects of our personalities that we reject and repress. This has been a very intense reading for you guys. I hope that it's been helpful. I'm not closing it off. I just felt called to say that, but it is coming to a close. I think we've got to the heart of the matter here. I just feel, see, if you aren't looking at the camera, just take a peek quick. Look at the spread and the colors. They're all black, brown, greens, and then the mother of the salt water, this passion, wild love, open your heart, is so brilliant turquoise blue. It's odd in this mix, which means it's odd for you. This is something that you would not naturally feel comfortable with. I feel like you would feel more comfortable exploring your shadow side and healing ancestral patterns than opening your heart, letting love in, and feeling that wildness. But that is definitely the key. That is the card we pulled for what is the key to unlocking this situation or unlocking whatever it is within you. I think you will get there. I don't know if that's going to happen overnight, but that's definitely what your future state of being would look like. I feel the reading has come to a close, but I don't feel ready to close up the reading, if that makes sense. Let me see if there's anything else they want to say here. I'm going to get you a spirit guide message. Just because of that team who was around you that I saw so clearly, I would say 10 individual, like their collective consciousness, but 10 distinct souls, or like frequencies. So let's see if there's something specific that they want to say closing this out. I feel pretty confident that we got the main things they wanted here. I don't feel like anything was left out, as much as I could get anyway. Yeah, they're saying to me, this will be unlocked. This will be unlocked. Okay, I'm just going to pause. They do want me to read this Chamber of Protection card. They are just highlighting it and they were like, read this, please. So let's do that. You guys, they really have, like, there's so much extra care in this reading. Like, I don't even know what time we're on here, but like, it doesn't matter. They're just like, anything they need, they'll go the extra mile to make sure you have it. So here's what they wanted you to know. Don't place your attention outside yourself, focus it within. The more you look to external sources to guide, nourish, validate, or affirm you, the more you're going to feel off kilter. Draw your strength, your guidance, your truth, your worth from inside. They highlighted the your worth. If you draw your sense of safety from the outside, you'll be forever defending yourself from the outer world. Many see energetic protection as a sort of defense, something they need to be wary of. But if you take looking after your sacred space in your own hands, you get to decide who enters it, much like the guard bee, a natural-born protector who decides who will enter the sacred space of the hive. Sometimes this card appears when you're being called to renegotiate your boundaries with places and people. That's come up 3 times now for you. Don't, like, stay true to your boundaries. Renegotiate your boundaries could be a part of that, but don't self-abandon for this situation, which really means redefining your definition of sacred space. This card can also appear when you've become overstimulated by the energy of other people and may have been drawing your sense of self from outside rather than within. The Chamber of Protection is an invitation to resource yourself. You can do this by connecting with Source and the Earth and doing whatever you need to do to replenish and take care of your needs. To give from a place of plenty, not a place of depletion and lack, for that's how resentment builds and boundaries become blurry. You're being called to tend to your energy and energetically prioritize yourself. Okay, so that's a big message coming through. Stop feeling like you owe anyone anything more than you owe yourself. Drop the guilt, take personal responsibility, and put your needs first. You get to define what your sacred space is and who is permitted to enter. Okay, I feel like you needed to hear that. I feel like that was the missing part, but I'm still going to get you this. They still want this, but I feel like that was the missing part. So you could be moving into just like complete time of like personal healing. Like it says, oh, it does say personal healing and happiness. You're going through the door of personal healing. The happiness may come later, or you may immediately start to feel the happiness as you start to prioritize yourself. Of course, we all have responsibilities. Some of us are parents, jobs, those things will still have to be balanced and juggled into an extent, but you can redefine and renegotiate some of these things. You can shift your routine. You can shift what your day looks like. You can shift how much time you're allocating to certain things to some degree to prioritize yourself and your needs. And our card coming out there. Ooh, okay. So only take this if it resonates, because I already saw it. Sometimes walking away is the only option, not because you want to make someone miss you or realize that they took you for granted, but because you finally respect yourself enough to know you deserve better. So take that as it resonates. Don't feel like you have to walk away from someone or something if you don't feel that that's the case. But that could also be walking away, like we talked about, from this ancestral chains, from the memory of something, from something that happened in the past, from saying you no longer are going to pull on me energetically with this memory. I am walking away from this. I am closing the door on it. I'm doing whatever I do need to do to process it within my own self, but you are no longer allowed, like I see this protective spirit here, in my mental space. I will no longer be replaying this. I will no longer be, reliving this. I will no longer be connected to you. You could benefit from doing some sort of symbolic thing, like a cord cutting ceremony. You can find these things on YouTube and other platforms that may help also to like cut any sort of like connection you're feeling to something that happened or a person. But whatever path you take and however long it takes you, there's no rush to do this at all. This is not something that can be rushed. You have such a beautiful energy on the other side. This beautiful, wild love, passion, celebration, healing, happiness, and fulfillment of wishes. They're showing me that because of the pain and trauma and heaviness of what you've experienced in your life and in the situation that is maybe on your mind, the polarity, the duality, I'm not sure which word is right there, but the opposite side of that will be so much more pronounced, defined, and intense and like saturated for you. So you're really going to feel joy and peace and fulfillment and deep satisfaction. You're really going to feel just completely like charmed. They're showing me like it's going to feel charmed and magical and enchanted. It's going to feel like you would never have expected your reality to feel. I don't know when. I don't think tomorrow, but it's like, a spectrum. Like it's going to go up, 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 and up and up. They're just showing me like a jet taking off, or like one of those graphs where the curve goes up, over time. But it will reach a height that you probably didn't expect, because you may not be familiar with that state of being yet. I don't think a lot of us are. Like you kind of get glimpses sometimes, but it's going to be quite sweet and magical. I'm excited for that time in your life, but I'm just as excited for this dark night that you're moving through now, because it can be such a beautiful time with your own self and your own soul. I love you guys so much. I just want to push all the love that I have in my energetic body towards you, and comfort you, but your guides are also doing that for sure. Thank you so much for being here, for trusting me with this theme as your reader today. It's possible that you felt drawn to another group. If that's the case, then I will see you there shortly. And if not, then I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your reading with card 11, Serendipity, Fated Encounter, and the beautiful dragonfly, which is one of my spirit animals. I see them whenever I need to know something. You feel me? So this is your mystery message. What does your spirit team most want you to know at this time? So let's start with this deck. Something serendipitous. I wonder if you like that movie, Serendipity. For pile 2, what would you like them to know right now? Something that will support and guide them on their path. These two would like to come out. Oh, not getting take a risk. You got moonflower. Stop. The reason I'm saying stop is because this is literally a moonstone flower, and you got moonflower, and you have serendipity, and you have 11. So I feel like this reading is going to be very aligned. Take a risk. You got love. I have not got this card before. What a bright, beautiful card. Now this card has little mushrooms growing on it. I wonder if you felt drawn to either the adventure pile or the mindset pile with that take a risk and kind of like the compass there. I think there's a third card here. Day moon with love and domicile moon with abundance. Hail, yes. I feel like you guys are feeling pretty lucky in your world right now. This is giving like lucky energy. If you don't, you're coming into a lucky time. It's giving like Sagittarius energy where things kind of just go your way, like fated encounter. Things start working out. Things start moving forward. Do you ever get in that flow where it's just like maybe things feel kind of mundane and stale or the same for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that manifestation popped and I met this person and this passion kind of came across my path and my career art opened up and I got a promotion. And I just feel like a lot of beautiful things are coming in here. To have love and abundance in the same reading is very magical. I'm actually going to put the take a risk here with the serendipity fated encounter, because it's like love and abundance are surrounding this, but it requires you to take a risk, which is the part that you may not feel so comfortable with. So let's get more information. A risk about what? Abundance coming in, love coming in. Now, whatever that means to you, it doesn't have to mean a romantic relationship. It can be. Abundance doesn't have to mean money. It can be. It can be whatever abundance is to you. Abundance of time, freedom in your schedule, feeling good in your body, having health, having your needs covered, having money for extra things, feeling good in the world, feeling peaceful, having your life routines and your lifestyle playing out exactly how you would like it. Abundance of friends and family around you. Love can mean many things. This can be a pet. You have love from a pet, a career, a passion, something you feel that lights you up inside. This could be familial love. This could be a newborn baby, that love. This could be friendship. This could be romantic. This could be love for Mother Nature. You could be in a frequency of love where everything you see, then you set your eyes on, you just feel this intense appreciation for that you never felt before. We can take it to the limits because there are no limits. Happy family. Well, there's one question answered, because we said this could be about, you got the Four of Wands, which is a card of celebration, which usually shows the rainbow. Sometimes it shows a house. It usually shows people holding hands. So if you were asking about something about your family life, building a family, potentially, you could be asking, will I meet my partner? Will I have kids? Will I have a family? This could be about reconciliation or just further enjoyment of the current family situation that you have. This could be finding your tribe. I am not mad at that card coming out. This is a very, very beautiful, positive reading. It's quite possible that you've come out on the other side of a very difficult time, and now you're moving into this beautiful energy of peace, love, joy, abundance, all the goody goodies, like a 10 of Cups energy this is. Your cups are about to be full if you're not already feeling that, but don't forget to take a risk. That's the card that is highlighting something, some action that may need to be taken or some perspective that you may need to be aware of. That's the part where your guides are like, this is what's all coming in, but there may be a risk. They just highlighted the happy family card. For example, say you're like, someone invites you on like a vacation and you're like, oh, I don't know. Like, maybe you just took vacation, and you're like, I don't know if I should go again. It would be a bit risky. There's something where you're going to be invited to do something or you have an idea, but it does feel like some sort of a risk where you're like, I don't know if I want to put that money into that again. And then you meet someone while you're there, or you get, a picture of something, or you decide you want to move there, or there's something about like something presenting and you pursuing it and saying yes instead of no, that opens the door to this love, happiness, and abundance. That's the energy I'm getting. Like your boss comes in and says, hey, this could be a very specific situation because I'm seeing it very clearly. Your boss comes in, like for one of you or two of you, and says, hey, we have a job opening overseas, or we have a job opening at this branch, and we thought of you. Maybe you're single, you're not tied down, or maybe you are with your maybe you have an extensive family and you're like, oh, I don't want to uproot them. But you take the risk and you take it, and this sets you on this path towards abundance, love, and happy family. You guys move there and you're living in a place where you never imagined. It's beautiful. You're outside. It's overflowing with new options and adventures, and it's just exactly what everybody needed. Maybe there's nothing wrong with where you are now. It's just maybe this is just a pathway to a portal to a timeline that you didn't even know your heart was desiring, because you won't know until you get there, and you see like, wow, I never thought of being in the mountains. I never thought of being by the ocean. It's something about the environment just bringing like so much love and appreciation and abundance into your life. But the doorway to this thing, it may appear like a risk. Like most people would say, like uprooting your life and moving somewhere else feels risky, right? Because you don't know, especially if you have no real reason to leave. Sometimes it's easier when you're unhappy, but I feel like you're pretty content where you are. And something about it is serendipitous. So it may be like they're asking you to move somewhere that you've always wanted to live, or you go on vacation somewhere and you meet someone who has the exact same tattoo as you. There's something serendipitous about this that will stand out to you. That's what your guides are saying. It doesn't have to be like a specific sign. Like, I wouldn't be too rigid about that and be like, unless I see, a butterfly, I'm not going. It's just something will naturally come up that you're like, huh, it's so strange how it's like every door will open. It will be a series of things. It won't even be one thing. It will be like, oh, for example, they're showing me, say it's the overseas thing and you want to potentially move and take this risk, but you're like, oh, I'm locked into a lease. So that's my biggest obstacle. So let me check on that first. So you call your landlord and you say, hey, I got this opportunity. Would I be able to break the lease? And serendipitously, they say, oh my goodness, how strange that you said that. I was just going to call you and say, they're changing the building code and we have to reno, and I was going to tell you I need to break your lease, or something like this, or I need you out of the place for 3 months while we fix the mold issue or something. And you're like, oh my gosh, perfect timing, because that, no, now I don't have to pay a fee. I don't have to pay. It's something like this where the doors just start opening and you realize that this is the right thing for you. Definitely a time to be very in tune with your inner world. Make sure you're doing your meditations, journaling. Make sure you're just in tune with your intuition, because when there's big life changes like this, you want to kind of be on the ball of seeing those signs and following that path of least resistance. What else for pile 2? This is fascinating energy. This is giving adventure, and I love this for you, and I want to join you. I am coming on the adventure with you. I love stuff like that. Like new, fresh things. Like, it is scary because you just don't know, but it's also like, it just feels so like fresh, like Fool energy. Like, what could happen? Anything could happen, anything could happen. Oh, you got the star. This is card 17 with hope. Beautiful. This pretty much is like the whole energy of your reading. I feel like this just brings, I feel like you need this. Maybe you don't realize, but it's like it brings this new, fresh, like I said, you might have been coming through a dark time, so you might need this change, where you need a change in location, you need a change in relationship, you need a change in passion or focus. It could be something they're showing me, like cutting your hair or changing your hair color, something as simple as that, where all of a sudden you get this new persona and you're like, I feel fresh. I feel like this is me stepping into my new life, because they say like hair holds memory or something, right? So it's something where it feels like a risk, but it allows you to embody this new energy that your soul is calling you into, like a new kind of feeling and vibe. You feel powerful, you feel different, maybe different traits start to bubble forward. That's what I'm seeing. What else can you tell us about group 2? Getting you different cards from group 1 because it's a completely different message and energy. Pile 2. What else can they know about this risk? Another one, they said. Go again. They said, go again. If that means something to you, they said, go again. Maybe you tried your hand at this, like maybe you applied for the promotion and didn't get it, or you went to visit somewhere and you loved it and you haven't been. I think you'll know what this thing is. Or there's a relationship that, it just didn't go anywhere the first time. Oop, this is a big one for some of you. They're showing me you've been wanting to reach out to this person. Like maybe you're single and you've just been like, oh, I wonder how that person is. Like, we just went on 2 dates and nothing ever happened, but I don't know, we just kind of lost touch or whatever. And all of a sudden they're like, say, go again. There's something where it feels risky because you're like, oh, what if they're dating someone? What if they're married by now? But whatever this thing is on your heart, you're being encouraged for sure towards it. Yeah. I know some of you didn't want to heal that. I know it's hard when you're like, no, I already closed that door because I already got burnt the last time. Sometimes the timing, man, the timing. Did I tell you, if you're from that group, if you didn't hear the story, it seems minimal and not relevant, but about timing, the other day, I'll just tell you quickly, I basically needed to book an eye appointment for my daughter, and I called the office near me who I'd never been before, and they were like, oh, we're fully booked. And then my guides were like, call the next day. And I called the next day and she was like, we can take her today. Like they had a cancellation. So it's that feeling of go again, where I was like, I felt disappointed. I didn't really know who else to call because there was only one optometrist in my area. And then it was completely solved the next day. It was just the timing of it. I had to wait for that cancellation. To the sea. How I am not surprised. You got card 7, to the sea. This is a journey. This could be a physical journey for some of you guys. These happy family people are at the sea. Or this could be just a journey that you're going to go on emotionally. You're going somewhere. You're traveling somewhere. You're moving from literally where you are in whatever life you're living to a new place, whether that's emotionally, a new relationship, a new career, an actual new place. You're being encouraged to travel. And you have card 17. Oh, not you getting new life. The way this reading is so aligned and harmonious and serendipitous, I ain't surprised, but I still love it. Like you could not plan this group of cards. You got new life after I'm pretty sure I said the life that you're living now, you're on a journey to a new life. I think I literally uttered those words or something moments ago. She's bursting out of her egg, out of her shell. You're having new beginnings. You have this beautiful star card, this hope, this dream, this wish. I mean, I could end your reading right there. It's so magical and beautiful and aligned. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna get you this deck. What else do you want to tail? What do you want to tail, pal? Pile 2. They did just highlight for me the adventure card. I have the other piles like that I'm ready to film, the resonant cards over to the side, and they just like highlighted the adventure card, which makes sense. You may have already felt drawn to there. If that's you, then that's confirming. If not, don't worry about it, only if you felt drawn to it. You have hell, sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. So you have help here from the other realms. I'm going to put this over that in case that image gets flagged by YouTube. YouTube's robots. Sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. You're going to have help for this. You're definitely going to have help from the higher realms because they're supporting you and they're guiding you and they're encouraging this entire thing. So like I said, listen to your intuition, tune in. You're going to have actual support. Like I said, doors are going to open. You may be like, I don't know, I need a moving company. All of a sudden someone offers, someone has a friend. It's just going to happen like boom, 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 boom. This whole thing is supported, which means it's going to unfold with ease is the message that they're giving me from that card. What else? Oh, this? I'm going to get you an angel tarot. Very interesting that this candle, ever since I lit it, it's been burning very like low. I keep relighting it to get the flame to go up, which you're not seeing on camera. If you're like, I didn't notice that, it's happening in between. And it's burning so brightly in your pile. It's like, this is so okay. This is so going forward. This is so a sure thing. For pile 2, what else do you want to tell them? I feel like your message is kind of short, but it's very to the point. And I'm loving it. Of course, you got another 7. You have a 17, a 7 with to the sea, and you got a card 7. It's giving 777. It's giving lucky, lining up, jackpot. Something is lining up, because you even have like card 11, right? Which is like 2 things lining up. Things in your world are lining up. This is going to start happening shortly, if it's not already started happening. That's going to just line up in like a jackpot way, and things are going to start and it like opens the floodgates of love and abundance. Time to make a decision. This is a 7 of Cups. Be clear on what you want and take action. And then you also have a side note of a need for detoxification, especially if you came through something from the past that you're feeling like a little bit stuck energy on. This is about making a choice. Looking in the 7, there's like 7 buckets here, all with different colors of the rainbow. Time to make a decision, be clear on what you want, and take action. I would write out your vision for your life. Where do I see myself? If I wasn't putting limits on myself, how would I love the next, 5 years to play out? and see if something presents itself that allows that possibility to unfold. I just want to get more of the actual original resonant card deck for you, because I said this is a new deck for me, and they just highlighted to pull some of these for you. What else can you tell? Pile 2. Yeah, I keep hearing anything can happen. I never know that song. I've heard it once before in a reading. Do 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 do. Oh, the mushroom rolled into your reading. 28 in the distance. Ooh, closer than you think. The card reads. That's what I feel. It's like something's right around the corner. Like this could be like you're like, oh, I'd love to have a family and kids and meet someone, and then literally like next week something happens, you take a risk, and all of a sudden you and this person are like head over heels in love. It was just that text, or it was just that brief encounter, at the grocery store. It always happens at the grocery store in these stories. And or it was just that phone call, or there's something that, or someone says, hey, do you want to go to this whatever concert with me, or boring seminar with me, and you're like, not really, but you take the risk, you go, and you literally sitting next to the love of your life, and all of a sudden it's closer than you think. The distance closes between this wish, this 17, this star, this hope card, this light that you hold in your hands, this future, dream. All of a sudden it's like it snaps into your reality. Or like they're showing me, say you wanted to like open something, a bakery or a shop, or start a business, and you're just like, oh, I wish, one day when I have the funds, and then through some serendipitous support, someone says, oh, we do small business funding, or we do grants for that, or I know someone who would invest and be an angel investor in that, or I know someone who has that business who wants to sell it. And all of a sudden you go have the conversations, you speak to the people, you're at the bank or you're at the lenders, and all of a sudden next week it's closer than you think. You have this small business loan that you didn't even think was happening for like ages. Like you didn't even know how that was going to happen, and all of a sudden all of your ideas are at your fingertips, ready. You can make the sign, you can make the logo, you can go see the space, you can start picking paint colors, and it's like this abundance comes in, love comes in, happiness comes in, this new life comes in, like that. Like they're showing me these snaps. I love this. Like I'm getting this feeling of fire, like excitement, and like my solar plexus, like so much excitement. Oof, you got card 17. Stop. The synchronicities are making me smile, like my cheeks are hurting. You got another card 17. So you have card 17, hope. Card 17, sweetness. Card 7 to the sea. And then 7 of Raphael. And then you have the 11, which is like sometimes the twin flame number, or like the universe number, 1111, because it's like alignment. You're lining up exactly with, this is your reading. Your reading is alignment, we'll call it. You're lining up exactly with this thing. And they just keep showing me like a lock, or the slots slotting into place, and it's like opens the floodgates. Chick 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 chick, the coins, boo doo doo doo, and it's like a winning sounds. But you got the beautiful strawberry sweetness. Set clear boundaries. I'm going to read this one to you because I'm surprised that it says set clear boundaries. Is it just me? Does that seem strange to be on the sweetness card? So let's read it. Oh, you know what we didn't do is read your actual resonant card. Sorry about that. We'll read both. That's how I started pile 1, and I totally forgot. I got so excited about your reading. I knew I was missing something. I was pausing. I was like, what am I missing? Because I went right for the deck, and it felt like there was an emptiness there. The emptiness was I forgot to read your card. Okay, so your actual serendipity card, better late than never, is the phrase they're giving me. So they're like, that happened purposely so that you could give this information and say this phrase. There's something that you felt should have happened at the beginning of your life, or should have happened already, or was meant to happen, and then it happens now. It happens later. It happens later than you thought, but it was meant to be that way. It's just like I didn't read this at the beginning, but I remembered it. I'm doing it now. You may soon come across a person or scenario that feels fated, This magical experience will give you the assurance that you are on the right track in life and that things are finally falling into place for you. This could be a fated meetup with a person who will guide you towards your destiny to help you succeed in some way. This card can indicate meeting a teacher or a mentor or accepting guidance from the higher realms. Stay open to ideas, even if they seem a little odd or unconventional. Yeah, with the take a risk. I actually like that we did the whole reading because we already read all that information and then it said it in the card. So I feel very satisfied with our reading here today. And then card 17 reads, sweetness, beautiful nature, attractiveness, clear boundaries, respectful limits, beauty, kindness, empathy. You possess a sweet nature and a precious beauty that attracts many different people. However, not everyone who comes in your life has good intentions towards you. It's crucial to set clear boundaries and safeguard your loveliness. It's our responsibility to communicate and uphold those boundaries. You will eventually find your soul tribe who will respect your limits, and you will enjoy great times with them. No one else should be granted that access. Okay, so that could be with this happy family card. That could be a message for maybe some of you are moving out of something that we talked about at the beginning, or maybe with this time to make a decision. If there's anyone who's not respecting your boundaries, who's not respecting your sweetness, who you do feel like is trying to manipulate or emotionally guilt trip you, that's not the person. That's not the love that we want here. We want people who feel completely in alignment with you, who respect you, who love you, who regard you, who, what did it say? Respect your limits, yeah, and you will enjoy great times with them. Who respect you, who respect your needs, who respect your boundaries, who respect what makes you you. Okay, guys, I love your reading so much. I might listen to this one back for myself just because it was such a good high vibe energy to be in, and I'm super excited for whatever this risk is that you're taking and embarking on, and the love and abundance that is flowing into your new life here. The support you have all around, and whatever this decision is that presents itself, that's just going to start to 777 line up for you. And I love that it's closer than you think. I really love that. Because I love when you do a reading, because sometimes you do a reading and it's like, okay, well, one day in magical unicorn land, this might hurt. But this is like closer than you think. And that's the feeling that I get, and that it's an alignment reading. It usually means things are lined up and ready to click and move forward, and you're going to be seeing this energy really shortly in your actual reality, which makes me want to just burst through the screen and hug you and like do a little excited dance with you. So thank you so much for being here and trusting me to be your reader. If you did feel drawn to one of the other groups, then I will see you there shortly, and if not, I'll see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hi, pile 3, welcome to your reading. You have the mindset card, find a different perspective. Card 15 with this cute little mushroom. That's so cute with this mushroom card. I can't stand it. So we're doing a mystery reading and asking your spirit team what information would benefit you most to know. It could be something that's on your mind, something you're not aware of. That's why it's a mystery reading. We don't know. But we are going to start by reading your card. Find a different perspective, patterns, divine role, different perspective, reevaluation, growth, new ideas, changing your mind. It's possible you may have fallen into repetitive patterns or are feeling unfulfilled with your current situation. To be able to step into your divine role, it's important to look at things from a different perspective. Sometimes taking a step back and reevaluating everything can bring new ideas and help you see the part you play in certain circumstances. It's okay to change your mind as you grow as a person, so don't be afraid to do so. I love that. Okay, so let's see how this relates to what's going on with you in your life at this time. For pile 3, please. Mindset, what information would benefit them to know? I'm holding back a sneeze. Oh, I don't want to sneeze right into the mic. Okay. For pile 3, obviously I could sneeze, it's just then I have to edit it out. So unless I really feel strongly, I do get like my nose tickles like that with just the work that I do. So sometimes I just have to like let it pass. I don't know why I'm telling you that, but you're welcome for the random intel. Wow, okay. This one also was like sitting there. This one shot across the table. I don't know if you saw that. Cold moon, face your fears. Ooh, that's a pretty card. Ooh, how let the moon process your feelings. I love how that matches your card. These are so different. These are giving light and dark. Cold moon, face your fears. Let's read them. I've never got these two, I don't believe. Whenever I get one that I haven't read from the deck yet, because this is also a new deck for me, I like to read it because I don't want to miss anything. Chicken wing. Don't miss a thing. Right now, you're being asked to face a fear. You may feel alone, but you are not. You have a team of celestial beings loving you and guiding you. However, at the moment, it may be that you need to stand on your own 2 feet and face whatever fear is stopping you from moving forward. Because you have mindset. This could be the mindset that they're referring to. You need to do things on your own right now because you're in a period of soul growth. Whatever is challenging you now is something you need in order to evolve, however hard that may be to believe. Be super kind to yourself and know that you're still connected to the 3-dimensional you who knows that everything now is happening for your highest good. Know this. The more we resist a lesson, the harder life has to work to show us what we're meant to see. Whatever you're going through now is a lesson, and if you can push through the fear, you'll come out the other side a changed person. The whole universe is on your side. Okay. One of the additional meanings is stop being stubborn. Only take it if it resonates. And it says, at times we may feel alone. Oh, because it's the cold moon. Even though in truth we have a team of celestial beings surrounding us, cheering us on. Life could feel very cold right now. Okay, and then you got the process your feelings with the howl at the moon. The practice of moonology involves, at the very least, processing your feelings. At full moon and again at the dark moon. How are you doing with that? Drawing this card suggests you have some feelings you need to release for your own good as well as for the good of anyone else involved in this situation. Now is the time to let your feelings show too. Bottling them up so no one knows how you're feeling isn't really healthy, obviously. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. If you're doing that, stop. Consider working on your throat chakra. As I'm coughing, with chanting, breathwork, or singing. Literally go out and howl at the moon. You're not at the end of this story yet, so this card can't tell you where the end will be. It's up to you to create it. But part of the journey towards your answer involves you releasing your throat chakra. Okay, that's come up twice now. And expressing yourself. Okay, I get this. If the situation or your life feels blocked now, processing your feelings could be the key to the unblocking. Feel them, deal with them. Negativity blocks your powers. Oh my goodness. And it says additional meanings of this card. Face your fears. I'm not joking you. I'll hold that right up so you can see. And you have the face your fears card. I got confused because I was like, aren't we reading the face your fears? So this has to do with facing your fears. I feel the Hindu goddess Kali strongly when I ruminate on this card. She doesn't care about niceties. She'll howl at the moon if she needs to. Okay. If you don't mind humoring me, I want to go back to this mindset card because now that I read those other things, I feel like different things are standing out to me. Yeah, it's okay to change your mind as you grow as a person. Okay. I feel like this has to do with reevaluation and growth and changing your mind. I feel like you're in a situation, whatever it is, work, relationship, it's always one of the usual suspects. You dig? Something with your body, your routine, the role you play in your general life, and you are feeling a little bit stuck. A little bit, the energy might feel either like just boring and like repetitive, like I was giving Groundhog Day. Or there's a situation that literally feels stuck. Like you're like, I don't know what to do about this. I don't know what to do with this person. I can't continue to work here. I can't continue to live this routine. It may feel like draggy energy. The reason I say that is because it feels that There's a situation that needs to move forward, but the perspective or mind state that you're in is you're in a little bit of like bury your head beneath the sand energy, which is fine. We all go through it, where you're like, I don't really know how to address this. I don't really want to deal with this. I don't really want to see what it's bringing up within me. Sometimes maybe you think about saying something, but you feel stuck. Like you're like, I can't really see myself expressing this to my boss or to my partner or to my family. I just would rather keep this inside because it seems too scary to say what it is that I really need and what it is that I really want, which is I want to change. I don't want to be here. I've grown out of this. I need something more. Whatever it is, I feel like it's giving like unhappy marriage kind of energy where it's like one of the partners or both are unhappy, but just no one's saying anything because you have a routine, you have the comfort, you don't want to stir things up. And then that seems even harder because then that's scary because what if you leave this person and then you wish you had them back? Or what if you leave them and you're alone? Or what if you leave them and you don't feel you can survive on your own? Like it's giving that energy. But you have some growth here. You're becoming like this mushroom is like blooming. It's trying to find its way. It's reaching for the sun. But the mushrooms are kind of like in the darkness, right? It's like you want to grow, but you're a little bit afraid to come out of like your safe, like little shadow there. This could be something like you want a promotion at work, but you're too afraid to ask, or a raise, or you don't want to put yourself out there, or something like that. So let's get more. If you're feeling that energy, then I'd say you're in the right place. Let's get more and see if our suspicions are confirmed, or if some new themes pop up here. For pile 3, their spirit teams, what would they like to tell pile 3 that could help them the most at this time? All tied up. That's exactly what we're getting. That's exactly what we said. So they're confirming. You feel bound. You feel like you can't get out of something or move out of it or find a way out or do the things or say the things that need to be said to face your fears, to shift the situation. Okay, so we're going to get you some answers here about how to do that. What else for group 3? Walking away. Okay, well, this is becoming very clear. This is very specific energy. If you're not resonating with this, I'm sure you've already clicked off because this is very clear. It's giving like unhappy relationship or unhappy work, like you're stuck in a contract. And so you feel all tied up, but you really want to walk away. You really want to howl at the moon and be like, I am not doing this anymore. This isn't for me. This is toxic. This is draining me down. This is draining my energy. I'm unhappy. I'm unfulfilled. I want to walk away. I want to leave. I want to move. I don't like this house. I don't like this living arrangement. Whatever it is, that's what this pile is very clearly giving. So let's see what the message is from your guides about this. So right now they're confirming, for sure you need to express something because throat chakra came out twice. So you're going to have to speak your truth. I know that's very difficult sometimes. Spiritual strength, card 9. Yeah, relying on your spiritual strength is going to be a huge weight off your shoulders with this. I'm going to get another card from this. Calling on your spirit teams, developing a strong inner world, meditating on the answers, journaling so that you can really process things, bring them to the surface, allow them out so you can read them back and look at them and reflect on them and say, okay, the truth of this is this. Like when I'm divorced, right? So I had to have that moment where I could feel like it wasn't right. I felt like there was incongruencies. I felt out of harmony, out of alignment. We tried, we spoke about it, but I knew in my gut. I just knew that this wasn't my journey with this person had come to an end in that role. Now he's shifted roles. He's a co-parent and we're friends. Wonderful, beautiful, amicable. But at the time that I was in the marriage, I remember having that feeling where I had to go on a lot of walks. I would walk by the water and I would ponder this. I was a new mom. My daughter was like a baby to 2 that I started feeling these feelings. And I spoke to him about it and he was basically like, okay, like whatever you want to do if you're not happy, then, we'll figure it out type thing. But it's not a situation like I'm not happy and I need you to make me happy. It wasn't that situation. He's a great guy. I just knew that our journey had come to an end and we weren't each other's long-term partners and we weren't best suited. There was just too much gaping holes in things that were just personality and character differences or value differences. So sometimes you have to have these, but I didn't know how to say that yet. I was processing this. Process your feelings, face your fears. And I had so many fears. How am I going to support me and my daughter on a single income? Where am I going to move? Because we were living all together in one house. Like, how am I going to work? Because I was her primary caregiver. He worked full time and very long hours. How was I going to work? Where was she going to go, at the same time? Like, it was a lot of fears about this. So I completely understand if you're in a situation that is kind of on that vibe, but it definitely will help to rely on your spiritual strength and build up a strong inner position or inner knowing, like what's that word when you just know? What's that word? I can't think of it right now, but it will definitely help you to build up a strong inner position about it, where you just know what you want, what you need to do, where you're being called to. You know you're in tune with your heart, so that when you do have to speak on it, even if your voice wavers, your position, unwavering, that's the word I was looking for. Your position won't waver. Even if it's hard for you to voice and communicate, at the end of the day that this is what you're moving towards, and no one can convince you otherwise. So that all happens in your inner world, developing your spiritual strength, meditating, speaking with your guides, journaling, talking to mentors, spending time in Mother Nature, so that it's like you're becoming familiar with yourself, with the issue, with the concerns. What do you see yourself like? What do you see your life like? What is it about this situation that's causing you discomfort? Can that be corrected? Can harmony be restored? You kind of like exploring the issue on your own, in your own inner world, with downloads and insights and intuition and reflection from the spiritual support around you. That could be relying on texts if there's certain things that you study or read, like some people like to rely on the Bible or other spiritual texts to help guide them. That could involve that. Could involve a certain faith that you feel particularly is your truth, or that you feel great comfort in or alignment in. Whatever spiritual strength means to you. Come to the edge. Ooh, I like this. This is like Fool energy I always get. This is like kind of take a risk energy. If you felt drawn to group 2, they had to take a risk there. It's this like this figure's dancing close to the edge, which could be like, careful, don't tip. You're going to disturb your comfort. You're going to disturb your sense of safety. But at the same time, on the other end of that leap or that jump is potentially freedom, is potentially a new life, is potentially everything that you feel is restricted in this current situation on the other side of that. I'll give you another example. A lot of big personal examples in this pile. When I wanted to leave my corporate job that I was in for my entire life, literally, and do this, I wanted to be express my gifts. I have another channel that's an ASMR channel. I wanted to express gifts there with self-care and helping people with anxiety and sleep issues. And I wanted to have this where I share my other spiritual gifts. But I was like, I don't know how to make that transition happen. Like, I have bills to pay. You can't just start YouTube and make money right away, obviously. I mean, unless you're like some sort of YouTube genius, I don't know, or you go viral. It took a number of years in order to even get income happening from the channels, and that never wanted that to be my motivation. So I was always very careful about the priority I put on that, blah, 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 blah. But it felt scary to think about leaving the security of a corporate job where I was very high ranking. I was very well respected. I knew exactly what I was doing. I had done that role for so many years. It just seemed bizarre to take that leap of faith and just completely change my life and essentially come to the edge and say, dare I jump into this world of self-employment where it's a completely different ballgame and I have to learn new things and I don't have that security and I don't have that steady income and all this. And it happened naturally. It happened naturally where they were doing layoffs. I took a layoff. I had ended up moving at that point. It was becoming very hard for me to travel to where like the new locations were and the office was. It just all kind of happened synchronistically. They offered me a package, which was the perfect amount of money to bridge me while my channels became monetized and I was able to get income. I have other sources of income. I just want to give you just be forthcoming and not gatekeep. It's not enough for me personally with the size of my channels to have just my bills paid for that, because like I said, I'm a single mom and I rent and everything to pay. Just full transparency, so you don't think it's like that's what I'm doing fully for my income. I have other side things that I do, but I'm so happy that I took that leap. And that was a life that I had imagined for like 3, 4, 5 years, that freedom of my own schedule, of getting up and creating. And I had like very little room to create in my other world. It was very rigid set of rules with, another company that employed me. So I feel like you're on that feeling where the walking away and the come to the edge, it's like you're on the precipice of a completely different life, but you're not sure either how to make it happen or when to make it happen. Trust in divine timing. Like I can tell you from experience, I feel like I have a lot of insights and practical experience with this because these things have happened to me. And I know most likely what the energy that you're sitting in. I know that feeling of fear, that feeling of anxieties, that feeling of I need to move forward in this towards my heart, but I just don't see how I possibly could. So I feel you and I hear you on that. What else can we get for you here, pile 3? I want to get you one more card from that deck. What else for group 3, please, about this? What do they most need to know? Any advice for how they could navigate this? So as soon as I said that, they highlighted on this card, find a different perspective. It's like my eyes will be drawn to something immediately and it kind of lights up. Find a different perspective. So maybe that's bridging something. Like, for example, when I started to know I wanted to do this, I was still working full time, but I would like film on the weekends to try to get the channels up, and I started dabbling in it to see if I even liked it. Because I was like, what if I don't even like it? What if I don't like that day to day? What if I don't like editing and filming? And what if I don't like the platform? So it could be seeing it as a bridge situation, maybe a little bit of this, a little bit of that. For example, when my husband and I divorced, we stayed in the house together, separated for like 6 months, I think even a year, before we actually found new places, because for me, that was too big of a jump to just be like, okay, move out tomorrow. But we were amicable. We talked about it. We agreed on the separation. We just, lived in different areas of the house type thing. And we were roommates and we co-parented, until we were like, what, I think it's time for one of us to get our own place. And we navigated that. And it's like one step at a time. So it could be having a different perspective where it doesn't have to be so all or nothing. It doesn't have to be such a big jump, whatever this is you're thinking of all at once. This card is Peace, card 23. I feel like whatever's going on in your life, it's affecting your inner peace. It's affecting your normal feeling of balance, of ease, of calm, of happiness, of just feeling good. I feel like every morning it's affecting you. For a lot of you, this is career. Like I would say half of you, and the other half, it's like a relationship, because it's something or a living situation. Like maybe you're living with family or something, or a certain living situation where you're like, I can't keep doing this. Because it's something that's disturbing your inner peace, that as you move forward and you express yourself and your feelings and you take the steps towards what you know is calling you and what is healthier for you and more in harmony for you, as you become free from this situation, your peace will return. I'm going to get you this inner temple because I feel like there's more lying beneath the surface here. What else for group 3? Yeah, they're showing me someone who doesn't even want to allow themselves to visualize or fantasize this new life because it's almost too painful. Like sometimes for some of you, you picture yourself out on a boat, opening on the sailing on the open seas, that freedom, but then you're like stuck at this corporate job, and the difference between that seems so vast that you're almost like shoving what's calling you in a box because you're like, it's too far away. And it's painful to feel that. And I get that. But I will tell you, it won't go away. Typically, what I find, your heart will just get louder. So since it's a matter of time, you might be coming to this reading to gently encourage you. Now might be the time. Come to the edge. Let's start processing our feelings, taking a look at it, take it out from underneath the sand, take it out from that box, start to reflect, look right at it, and be honest with yourself. Be truthful with yourself. What do you really want? What do you really need? What life do you really envision yourself living? What feels aligned to you? And then what steps would need to happen practically in order to make your way to this new life? Okay, you got inner summer and inner winter coming up here in this deck. I didn't see exactly which one came up, but I'm holding it with inner winter upright, so I'm going to read from that side. Very similar to this Face Your Fears card visually. Winter reads... Okay, the inner winter side reads initiation, rebirth, renewal, rest, going underground, the fertile void, surrender, mystery, unknowing, death, like death as in transformation, the ending. The end is also the beginning, they're highlighting for me. Union, feels like nothing will ever grow again, a yearning for rest and quiet. Which part of the card is right side up? Which meaning is calling to you most, and how can you bring both into balance? The seasons are probably the most powerful teachers there are in the great mystery school of nature. We can experience inner seasons too, and we're aware of which season we're in, will be a better place to progress through it. Accepting the season we're moving into can also offer us medicine and guidance that will help us meet what comes. Inner winter journaling prompts. How are you being called to slow down? What new seeds are you being called to nurture? How are you being called to rest? And what does the wise part of you want you to know? And I'm going to read you the inner summer because it's also there on the other side of the card, like they're opposite cards. So the inner summer was upside down, which might make sense for you, like reverse. Blooming, open to life, saying yes, pleasure, joy, tasting the sweetness of life, rapture, ecstasy, adventure, energy, solar warmth, enjoyment, being social, being visible, play, fun, creativity. Feels like I've arrived, things are happening, let's do this. I don't feel like you're in that energy yet. I feel like that's what you're repressing and is locked in that box because you know in order to get there, you have to get out of these ties. You have to do some walking away. You have to express yourself. You're going to have to come to the edge and face your fears. So I feel like that's what your reading is about. It's this gentle encouragement that now might be the time to start thinking about this. Not necessarily the time to take the leap. It could be, depends where you are on the spectrum, but it's time to start processing this and start moving towards it and giving yourself permission to envision your preferred life and your preferred situation, your preferred relationship, your preferred career, your preferred living situation. Did I say that already? I feel like I just repeated that. For pile. Oh, you've 2 card 23s, by the way, which I just saw, which would be 2 5s, which 5s are usually change as well as can be like conflict or challenging circumstances, which we are getting here. And you actually have 2 9s because you have a 9 and you have 27, which reduces to a 9. Actually, you have 3 9s because you also have 36. Because my guys were showing me the numbers and I was like 23, 9, 36, 27. I don't see anything. But now they're showing me when you reduce it, distill it down. It's 5, 5, and it's 9, 9, 9. So those could be meaningful numbers for you, or it could be signifying that you're coming to the end of a cycle on something that's typically 9s and 10s, and you're experiencing the challenge and the feeling of restriction regarding that, how to extricate yourself from this. That's something that you've grown out of. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to outgrow things. You're allowed to change your mind. No matter what anybody says, that's the truth. We are all evolving beings, and we don't always evolve at the same pace and on the same path that others and things in our life do. Sometimes we evolve out of a career, sometimes we evolve out of a relationship. That is part of life. I know that that's like a controversial topic because some people believe very heavily in marriage, and they feel like, you know, they don't believe in divorce and things like this. And everyone is welcome to their own opinion, and that whatever is true for you is true for you. I have no opinion on your opinion. I am only sharing with you what's coming through in this reading. For pile 3, what else do you need them to know, or you'd like them to know? So I'm just getting this feeling that it's this feeling that someone's like looking over your shoulder, kind of like criticizing you or pressuring you or rushing you or being like, okay, come on, let's do that. Okay, we're doing this. Like, no, we're not doing that. Like, do it this way, do it this way, do it the way that I think. I'm getting that feeling. So if that's you, I'm picking up on what you're going through. You might want to look into Goddess Kali, because she came up in this Howl at the Moon card, and she's very, that energy is very like, I know myself. I know my true desires. I know what's true for me, and I won't be moved from my path. It's very empowered energy, which you may need to call on in this situation, because I feel like someone is like kind of harping over your shoulder and making you feel almost like suffocated, like you can't make your own decisions, or you feel like bound to this because they're so like maybe emotionally manipulating or guilt tripping or something. I'm getting that energy. What do you want pile 3 to know from this deck, please? I know there's a card here. These are 3. I'm just taking them all for you. It seems like a lot, but I feel like you need as much support here as we can offer with this tricky situation. Okay, so you first got ride the waves, life lessons and growth. You will get through this. Okay, so that's very reassuring. You will get through this. Ride the waves. Then you have 4 cards here. Follow the stream. Okay. Future rivers and oceans. So this is about how, exactly kind of what I explained about when I first started to feel unhappy in my marriage and I first started to feel unhappy in my job. That's the stream forming that brings you out to the ocean, to the full fulfillment. So start to follow the stream, start to follow the little paths that you feel called to, the little streams of thought, the streams of emotion, and follow them. Follow the trajectory. Trust that they're leading you somewhere. Like, when I first got inspired about the channels, I thought it was the strangest thing. Like, on my ASMR channel, I was like, why would I do ASMR? Like, I've never been interested in that in my life. It was just like this sudden new passion. I didn't know that in 3 to 4 years it would lead to having a YouTube channel about it that would replace a part of my income, you know? So that was a stream that I followed. I started creating videos, even though I was terrible at them, because I had no interest in it. I had no experience. I didn't even know how to edit. Nothing. And so my point is, it was a stream that I was following. It was just a light interest that I just felt compelled to do. And I wanted to try it, and it was slightly interesting, and it grew into an ocean, you know? Then you got the Isle of Avalon. Yeah, big Isle of Avalon here. Healing, returning to wholeness, transformation. That's a lot of the energy here. I feel like you feel fractured in some way. You don't feel like yourself. Oh, look at this. Lady of the Lake, new beginnings. Something is about to happen. Okay, now I see why you got all those 4 cards, because they were so relevant. They were so relevant. All of those. You'll get through this. Trust the rivers and oceans and what they're becoming. Healing, returning to wholeness, transformation, new beginnings. Something is about to happen. I just want to see. Yeah, these aren't all in the frame. I apologize. We'll just slightly cover over, all tied up. Anything else we can tell pile 3 here? I'm going to get you some more final cards from here. I don't know that there's any like magical information that I can give you here. I think you know what you need to do. It's just part of the process. I think you know that you need to move out of this when you're ready. There's something you need to have freedom from. You're in the process of completely shifting, having a new beginning. The something is about to happen is very promising. I feel like something, I find with the universe for me, if I can't find the way out, I'll get like a little mini tower moment, or there'll be some door opening that creates that conversation that needs to happen, or that creates that opening or that opportunity to move. So I feel like that's going to happen. Oh, guys, the way that your messages are so consistent. You got cut off. Let go of what no longer serves you. You got walk away. Like, I'm getting chills because I've never had, you literally got cut off and you have all tied up. And see how she's bound by these ropes. And then you got the scissors. Let go of what no longer serves you. Free yourself. Now, I get it. It's easier said than done. These are people. These are relationships. These are circumstances. This is security. There's other things that factor in. I don't want to downplay it because I've been through it and be like, just leave. It's not always that simple. But you can do it. As someone who is on the other side of you, I feel like I'm the reader that you found in this pile for this situation, because as someone on the other side of both of those situations, a career I was no longer aligned with, I was before. I loved that career. Of course, I loved my husband when I married him and I thought that was going to be my partner. Life changes, things changes, we change and evolve. Especially if you're very spiritually inclined, I feel like we change rapidly because the level of consciousness is there. And so it's like we move with, our expansion sometimes happens at an accelerated rate. And so sometimes you identify your expansion occurred quicker than maybe your partner did or something like this. And now you're just out of whack and the living situation is not working. Doesn't mean you have to move this person completely from your life, but maybe you're changing their role, right? Or in some cases, if it's toxic or unhealthy, then that would be the walking away, the cut it off energy, depending on where you are at that spectrum. But you are healing, my friend. You are moving through this. You are processing this. You are supported. You're learning what you need to learn. You're moving through this. Definitely trust the rivers. Trust the initial little paths that are starting to flow. I would say that's a very strong message, even if it doesn't make sense. Like you suddenly feel like taking up swimming at the Y, or you suddenly feel like taking a cooking lesson, or you suddenly feel like reading a book. Like it's all coming together, but you have to trust these initial prompts you're getting from your spirit team that are helping you put this plan into motion in order to free yourself from this situation. And beyond that, you are becoming this other version of you, this new beginning, this returning to wholeness, this healing. You're going to heal on so many levels. I believe like when we're in a situation that's not aligned with us, a lot can happen in our body. Like we don't feel good. It can really start to affect us. Our nervous system can be completely wreaked havoc on our nervous system. Our emotional state. I feel like all of that, as you move out of this, is going to bloom and blossom and soften and like just they're showing me like a sponge that's all like shriveled up, and then you add water to it and it just blooms and like softens and expands and becomes like whole and flexible again. That's what they're showing me for this group. Sending you tons of love and understanding and acknowledgement about where you are on this path. This is not an easy chapter to be in your life, easy phase, but you can do this. I think you'll be looking at yourself in a year's time with such relief and being like, wow, I'm now living the life because of the things that I put into motion a year ago. And I'm so glad that I did that. That's the energy that I'm getting for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you are going to another group, I'll see you there shortly. And if not, I'll see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Hello, group 4. Welcome to your fantastical reading with the adventure. Be open to new experiences and this cool spearhead crystal. Card 21. We'll start by reading what your card says. New adventure, uncharted territories, stagnation break, adventurous spirit, enjoyable activities, bucket list cross-offs. It's time to embark on a new adventure and explore uncharted territories. Life can sometimes feel stagnant, but by adding a sprinkle of adventurous spirit, we can lift our mood and prepare for enjoyable activities. Adventures don't have to be extreme to satisfy our need for something new and exciting. It could be something as simple as starting a creative project, going for a hike, or crossing something off your bucket list. Have fun. I love that. Like I said in the intro, I got this adventure word from my guides before I started this reading, and I was like, oh, is it a whole reading about what's your next adventure? And then when I got the adventure card, I was like, oh, okay, it's one of the groups with the mystery message. So this is your mystery reading about what your guides want to tell you. Now, for some of you, I'll tell you you're up for the adventure, I can sense, and then the other half of you probably know you should let some more adventure in and be more open to new experience and taking risks, and that's why you're here. So let's see what your message is from your spirit team about this. For group 4, please. Yeah, I heard them go crazy, group 4. So I feel like some of you are a little bit like love to live on the edge and do some death-defying things. So be safe. Moonlight with enchanted. Ooh, I love that. Let me get one more of those. Enchanted is that time in your life where everything just feels magical and open new possibilities, very much like an adventure energy. It feels expansive, it feels hopeful, it feels like unlocking doors to possibilities that you didn't maybe know was there, you know, like stepping out of the mundane. Maybe we don't have another card with that. I'll just leave that alone. So what do we want to tell group 4? Oh, that one definitely wants to come out. Oh, 6th chakra, Archangel Metatron with card 40 coming out. That's your third eye chakra. So your intuition being very active during this time. Goddess of the Moon, card 52. Two very spiritual cards. You could be very spiritually led. There's always a group that I feel like is here literally for fun, for expansion, for insights. Often people come to pick cards with a problem, and you can feel that energy. It's like there's a puzzle we've got to put together, and then there's often a group. Most often it's pile 4, to be honest with you, where sometimes it's pile 1, but pile 4 feels the file pours. If you're my file pours from a previous group where I'd switched that and everyone in file pour was in the comment section when I had the comments open. I'm still in my inner winter, but I feel y'all. There's always a group that just has like this spiritual maturity, which is why I'm not surprised you got Goddess of the Moon. Like you're adept at navigating the unseen, the shadows, the inner world, the mysteries of life. You're comfortable there. Oh yeah, you even have Moonlight. See, I didn't even make that connection. Moonlight and Goddess of the Moon. I'm gonna put that together. You are very familiar with your own inner world. You don't need things to be super clear and spelled out for you. You understand nuance, you understand intuition, you understand subtle realms, you understand the phrase being led by your heart, your gut knows, like you know You've experienced what all of these things mean. You live in the 3D world, but you reside internally in like a higher dimension, I would say. And so because of that, you're kind of in the level of life where you know how to navigate conflict. You've come through all of your, major life lessons and growth and expansion. And you're at the point in your life where you're looking for the fun. You're really squeezing the juice now. You're like, let me taste the sweet nectar of life. You're like, let me add it. Let me live this life. Let me feel that exhilaration. Let me feel that joy, that peace, that expansion, that pleasure of life. I feel like that's the energy that you're in. So I wonder what your spirit team wants to tell you then, if you're kind of already in that energy. It doesn't feel like I have to convince you too much. Maybe some of you. Okay, the Star card, Hope. This came out in pile 1, I believe. I wonder if you're from there. I don't know if it was 1 or 2. That's the Star. Now the Star has different meanings. In this pile, I'm taking it very much as you've healed from something. You're at that point of your light has been restored and you're sharing it with others. That's what I'm getting from this card. I love that for you. Poised. Ooh, yes. Poised, card 48. This is that energy that I was speaking of you're ready. You're standing on the precipice. You're not trying to figure it out. You're not unsure where you're going. You're not still trying to create the map. You're like, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's buy the tickets. Let's go. Tell me where we're going. I'm up for it. This could also be that you're going to be in the spotlight. Sometimes poised is being on stage. So this could be about an adventure you're about to go on regarding some passion project or your career or the callings of your soul. Maybe you're into acting or dancing or performing in some regard. And you're going to be on stage, poised for applause or recognition, success. It's so interesting. They're just showing me how both of these cards, it's a light in their hand. And this one I would take as like, it's the Star, but it's like a golden light and then the moonlight. It's like this balance. You know how to hold both powers in your hand. You're a magician. You've magician energy. You've manifested. You know how to manifest. You've figured this earth plane out. I would gather. I don't know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay, more for pile 4. I don't really know what we can tell you here. I guess we'll find out. What about this adventure? Poised, Moonlight, Enchanted. I want to read the Enchanted card. They're encouraging me. There's something in there that explains what the energy is that you're moving into, that we're seeing come out here. Why I can never find the dang cards in this Moonlight. They're in the strangest order. I'm sure there is a reason behind the order. I just don't understand the order. It's like not self-explanatory. There is something magical and enchanted about moonlight. Whatever it touches turns a beautiful creamy silver. Something is doing this in your life now, or is about to. Life is about cycles, as is astrology and moonology. Right now, you're about to move into a more enchanted time or cycle in your life if you believe. Whatever you're wishing for, you have the Star, which is like the wish upon a, people call it like the wish upon a star card. Whatever you're wishing for can come true because you're starting to believe again. Ooh, perhaps after a rough time. So this card reminds you to focus on the good while you process the difficult. If you can't yet feel the magic in your life, take support from a daily practice of just breathing out with the intention of breathing out stress through cleansing breaths. It might be dark now, but there is moonlight. You have so much moon energy here. You're the goddess of the moon or the god of the moon, whatever you want to call yourself. There is moonlight at the end of this tunnel, so keep the faith and see the world through kind eyes. If you affirm that something is too good to be true, you might make it so. Instead, believe that life can be magical for you, and it will be. Okay, so that's why I was saying at the beginning, some of you are ready for this adventure, and some of you are like, I would like to be open to new adventures, because I've kind of gone through it and I'm unsure. So wherever you are on that spectrum, you're ready. You're ready for this. You're poised. You're at the gateway of this magical time, this wishes coming true, this darkness turning to the light. Right now you're in moonlight, and it's turning into illumination, and soon it will be very clear and apparent to you where to move towards next, what's going to light you up, what adventures to take and be open to. If you do have a new experience being presented, I would suggest you take that, just because of this reading you were drawn to. Chamber of Innocence. Okay, I've never read that, so we're going to read it. That's a pretty card. Chamber of Innocence reads, pages are even stuck together. You're holy and whole. You're innocent and innately good. You never got kicked out of the garden. None of us did. You're wholly welcome here. If you feel as though you've done something wrong without it knowing what it is, if you feel ashamed about hurting someone, or if you're finding it hard to be generous with yourself, it's time to release any shame, judgment, or bad feelings. Do what you need to do to let go and make amends, but don't forget you're human. And as a human, you're here to learn and grow, and so is everyone else. You're a precious child of this earth, no matter what your age. There's nothing wrong with you. There never was. Be gentle with yourself, and in turn be gentle with others. The harder we are on ourselves, the harder we'll be on someone else. The harder someone else is on others, the harder they are on themselves. This card comes with a message of tenderness, gentleness, and self-forgiveness. Don't be so hard on yourself. Treat yourself like the innocent one that you are. It's impossible to get it right all the time. Don't you remember you came here to grow? You have a right to be here, and you don't need to prove your worth. You have goodness in you. You're an ever-changing work in progress. Grow and learn, and do it softly. When we know better. We choose something new. This is what it means to be human. What does the innocent child within you want to know? What does the innocent child within you want to do? Lay down your sword. You've nothing left to prove. Very interesting. I've never got that card. I wonder if you're just feeling this defensiveness of being in the world. And maybe you've had to battle a lot through life. Like maybe you've been through divorces. Maybe you've been through difficult family situations. Maybe you've been through difficult things with your kids. Maybe you've been through difficult career things, transitioning, downsizing, bankruptcies, things with your work, things with homes, and you're so used to being in this world with a strong armor, with your armor on. Like for some of you, you're very emperor energy. Like I'm seeing like authority, like lawyers, doctors, like CEOs, people in the business world who are like, I know what I'm doing. And perhaps you're retired now, maybe your kids have grown up. There's a softening in your energy, but then there's this like point that you're coming to where you're like, okay, I'll just give you what they're showing me. It's giving like a retired, say, judge or army general, someone who's used to being rigid and strict and following protocol and being the authority. And then they retire. And all of a sudden, like their days are filled with whatever they want. Gardening. They don't have to get up at 5 a.m. They can sleep in if they want. They can sit on the porch with the sun on their face. And all of a sudden they're like, my day is feeling a little bit repetitive. Like I'm financially stable now. I don't need to have this armor up anymore. And my kids have grown up or, moved out. Maybe I don't have kids or whatever the case is. And I'm at the point in my life where it's kind of like, who do I now want to become? Like you have a little bit of magical, enchanted adventure, traveler, explorer energy coming up, but I also feel like it's specifically related to a particular wish or hope. For example, like I've read about actors. I'm just bringing it back to that because of this poised card and the wish thing and adventure, where they're like, I didn't start acting till I was like 50. Like I can't remember their names because I'm terrible at remembering facts about people, but I remember reading articles more than once where it's like this renowned actor, like some super famous person, was like really interested in acting when they were 50, 55, and that's when they started, and they got their first big role when they were like 55, for example. So I feel like you do have a wish. Maybe, like I said, you did. Were you the sailboat one where I was, or was that pile three? And there was a pile or a message I got. Sorry, the time doesn't exist when I'm filming, so like I don't know when I said this, but where I saw someone like wanting to leave their job and like sail around the world on a boat type of thing. But they're like, can I do that? Like, is that okay? Like, can I just be that person who's like, oh, by the way, everybody, I'm sold a house and I'm like traveling around the world on a boat. But it's this feeling of this time of your life being prime, poised is the word, that word, like ready, like set. Like, you know, poised always gives me the runners when they're on their mark and they're poised there. You know how they put their one hand up in the air and one on the ground and they're like crouched over and then they do like ready, set, go, and then but they're poised, they're ready to jump off. I feel that's the energy I'm getting. Like you're ready to jump off on something, but I think this reading is like your encouragement. Your guides are like, don't pack that away. You have this one life to live in this incarnation. Bring that wish back out. What was it? Was it to get married? Was it to have kids? Was it to travel the world? Was it to have a certain career goal? Was it to have a certain passion? Was it to attend school? Like for some of you, you may be like, I always wanted to be a teacher. And so you just want to go back to school, you know? But you're like, am I too old? No, you're not. You're not too old to do anything. Trust me, whatever you're thinking of, Google it. Someone older than you did it. So you might as well do it too. What else can we tell pile 4? I think we got a message in this Healing Waters deck for you. She's a calling to me. Maybe it's singing, because I'm just seeing someone with a guitar singing. Like, because don't get caught up in, I want to do this thing and it has to be successful. Just do the thing because you want to do the thing. If you want to be a singer, just go pick up your instrument, go learn the instrument and just do it. Film yourself, write songs, just luxuriate in that. It doesn't have to be something. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. That's not the point of it. The point of it is to have the time and the freedom to follow your passions in your heart and be creative and express. It's such a luxury to have the time and the freedom to create. Like it really is, especially in this day and age. Some people are so locked into the matrix like I was. It just feels like such a luxury to be able to have time to do what it is that I actually want and not just, you know. So you may have been in that world for a very long time that you're like, now that you have the time, it's like they're showing me like you dusting it off the shelf, something. It's some past wish or dream. Whatever it is, ride horses, learn to line dance, skydive, take your scuba course, travel the world, whatever it is, go and live on a beach somewhere. What's stopping you? Just because you ended somewhere, they're showing me, like just because the first part of your life ended you somewhere, maybe you have a house somewhere, like I said, maybe that's, but now you have nothing tying you, doesn't mean you can't start anew and go on an adventure and say, hey, I'm renting out the house and I'm moving to Italy. Hey, I'm like, you, like nothing is stopping you unless something is stopping you, but I'm sure you can work around that, whatever it is. I don't feel any like huge blocks here. I feel like it would just be logistics, like informing people, letting people know, renting things out, selling things, whatever it is you need to do. And then you can go be on your merry dang way. Like maybe you want a tiny house, for example. Maybe you always wanted a tiny house and live on your piece of land somewhere. Okay, you got beneath the surface, what's really driving you, true motives, breaking free. Okay, I feel that here. And follow the stream. Okay, this came out in pile 3. Follow the stream is all about following the path of these little interests and passions and nudges that lead into something bigger, where you don't really see, like you just think you're signing up for a cooking class, and then all of a sudden someone there says, hey, we actually have a cooking school in Italy, like, do you want to sign up with me? And you're like, wait, what? But it's just because you took that one cooking class that it's following you to this bigger desire. I want to read the beneath the surface, because that hasn't come out in a while and I can't remember the deeper meaning. Okay, this is exactly what we're talking about. Often the things that we think we want are not what we really want. Deep down, sometimes we go after them because the world has told us that we should do certain things or be a certain way, and we don't realize there's a choice. Yeah, this is about choice, to take the adventure path over the expected path. Sometimes we're driven by the need to keep up, be approved of, or fit in. Sometimes we do things just because we've always done them. Again, that's what I said. Your life might have ended up somewhere that you just feels a bit like mundane or stale or stagnant, but you can't place why. Sometimes we do things because we've always done them and we can't see outside the box that's containing us. Sometimes what we're chasing is really chasing us. What is it that you truly want? And why do you truly want what you want? Be honest. What are you chasing that's holding you captive? Are you being called to break free of the box that's containing you? What's beneath the surface of what you currently see? What are your motives deep down? Are you expending energy on things that aren't true inner yearnings? What's really driving your behavior and your desires? It's time to move from confusion to clarity, name the narrative, realign yourself, and reclaim your life. Yeah, this is reclaim your life energy. To open your mind to what is it that you truly, really want, and then reorientate yourself towards it. That's what I've been saying this whole reading. I love that. Open your mind to what it is you truly want, and then reorientate. It's safe to change your mind. It's safe to step outside the box, to choose a different way of being. Look beneath the surface of your day-to-day life and reflect on what's really driving you and what you truly want. Freedom always follows, and so does ease and fulfillment. And the inquiry is, what are you doing that you really don't want to do? What are you doing just because you always have? This is completely the energy here. I'm so glad that card came up, because it could not be more nail on the head. Let's get you one of these. So I think your message is fairly clear. 100% I would reflect. You may already know what this thing is. You may know what this star is in the palm here. You may know what's been calling you. You may just have not wanted to kind of, there might be some fear there, anxiety, maybe just complete unawareness. Like I said, sometimes we're just doing it because it's like we've always done it. And then we're like, oh, wait, why am I living here? I don't like the climate. Why am I living here? I don't like my neighbors. Why am I, still here? I don't even like what I'm doing here. Like, you're just doing it out of habit. Nothing like a good restock of life and reorientation or direction. And if you have the means to change your circumstances, then you got the adventure card, my friend. I would not hold back on that. You got card 9, Epiphany. I love this card. Archangel Raziel. This is the Hermit card. Joy through spiritual growth. Be a light to others, and answers that come through meditation. Yeah, I think you experience a lot of joy and satisfaction through your spiritual life. Like I started saying, with the you having the goddess of the moon and the 6th chakra intuition card. I think you do get a lot of answers through meditation. I would go there first if you already don't have the answers. If this is just kind of like a concept that you're excited to explore, I would write it down. If I was authoring my life, if I was designing my life, how would I do it? What are the things that what is the recipe? They're showing me like a recipe, like a bowl. What are the ingredients that if you were designing your life, starting fresh, day one, you can choose any reality, starting here where you are, what do you now wish to create? How do you wish what ingredients would you put into your day, into your recipe, into your experience? Do you have a little romance? Do you have a little spiritual time? Do you have a little wellness moment? Do you have a sense of satisfaction? Is there a business or a purpose aspect where you like to create something specific and see it like produce? Is there an expression? Like, do you want to express? What about your physical body? Do you like to adorn it? Do you like to dress well? Do you like to wear specific things? Or are you more happy in sweats? Maybe you're really used to wearing structured things. Like, I had to say to my dad at one point, I remember, I was like, Dad, why are you wearing jeans around the house? Like, he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, are you comfortable? He's like, no, I hate jeans. I'm like, why didn't you go put check pants on? Go put some sweats on. Like when I used to go visit him, and he's like, oh my gosh, you're right. And now he like only wears sweats. I know I probably shouldn't encourage that entire movement, but it was just funny because I could just see it was ingrained in him. You always wear jeans. Like that's the lowest level of comfort. And I'm just giving that example because I feel like it's a lot of things about your everyday life. Like, do you even like what you're eating for breakfast, or would you rather be eating something completely different? I feel like you had to live a life that you didn't have time, or like I said, the luxury to question a lot of things. You just had to keep going. But I feel like you are, for some reason, reaching a point of rest. Either your career stabilized, your family life stabilized, something stabilized where you're no longer digging yourself out of things or trying to actively find solutions to problems. I feel like you're at a pretty stable place, but almost too stable, where you're like, do I like this table that I've built my life on? This stability, do I like this table, or do I want to paint it turquoise? Do I want to paint it rainbow? Do I want to have a buffet and have friends over at this table? Like, it's like, what do you want to build on your stability now with? And I think this reading is encouraging you. It's like opening a little door that maybe you didn't think this was possible, or see it as an option, or consider it maybe even. That's what I'm getting, that your guides are like, I don't even know if they considered this, but we have so much fun lined up for them. We can tell you where all the fun is. All the interest, all the adventure, all the expansion, all the feeling of, it's a feeling of interest primarily. Things that stimulate you, that make you come alive, that you're like, wow, I love this. Oh, you got loyal friend, a wise, supportive person. Okay, so it's quite possible there's someone in your life that you can call on regarding this. Maybe someone's going to travel with you or do this with you. You now have 2 card 9s, because that and the Epiphany card are a 9. If you know who that is, I would include them in this. Like maybe a travel partner, maybe your bestie, maybe you decide to room together or live together or travel together or split something or go have adjoining land with tiny houses. Oh, 2 came out there. You also got, you got sneaky person. 42, a person with questionable moral compass. Okay, you probably know who that is. That's actually wild that you got loyal friend and sneaky person. It's like the 2 opposites. So there could be something going on in your life where you're like, no, I know exactly who that is. And you're right. It's about time that I follow the stream. It's about time that I close that door or call this person out or just shut that down, that interaction. And then you got, healthy choices, card 41, choose wisely. Yeah. This is exactly what your reading is about. Your reading is about what is healthy and aligned for you, what feels right for you, what feels like interest to you, what feels exactly this, what feels like a loyal friend versus a sneaky person. It's about you being at that point in your life where you're no longer needing to entertain things that are out of harmony with you, just out of necessity. Like sometimes we have to stay in jobs, or we don't ever have to, but sometimes we feel that we have to stay in jobs or relationships or friendships because there's something else that we have to focus on at that time, or we're just trying to keep our head above water and it's not something we can really deal with. But I feel like you're at this point where you can really curate your life. And you can really say, you know what, I don't know why I call this person. Like they're always gossipy, they're always negative, they're always putting me down. I think I'm going to put a stop to that. I'm going to talk to them about it. I'm going to make my preferences known. And if that's a pattern and that's who they are, then, I'll probably choose to limit my interaction with them and focus my energies more on this loyal friend. Is definitely one message coming through, but definitely this is about making healthy choices for you, no longer feeling bound to expectations or previous roles that you played, but allowing your heart's desires, what lights you up, what your passions are, to start to lead you down these streams, into these oceans, being gentle with yourself as you process this. Really, really cool reading. I loved this energy. It was very insightful. I hope that you enjoyed it and found some benefit from it. If you did feel called to another group, then I will see you in another pile if you're going there. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. But all the best of luck on this with this adventure. I'm very excited for this adventure for you. Okay, guys, I will see you next time. Bye.